Hi students, I am your chemistry miss Mrs. Andumalar. Today we are going to see the continuation for the unit 4, the transition element. The topic is catalytic property. So previous video we completed the magnetic properties, that is the diamagnetic, paramagnetic and the ferromagnetic and antiferromagnetic. So these are all the what are the properties of the magnets. So everything we have studied the previous video. Today we are going to see the catalytic property. First one is what is mean by catalyst. So what is mean by catalyst? So catalyst is a substance. What is mean by catalyst? Catalyst is a substance to change the rate of the reaction. So alter the rate of the reaction, does not alter the change of the product constant, alter the rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction. This is the catalyst, but it does not change the reactant and the product in the any of the reason. But during that, after completing the one of the reactant is converted into product. After the product formation, the catalyst will be regenerate. So that is the properties of the catalyst. So what is mean by catalyst? Only the speed of the reaction, does not alter the change of the concentration. So does not only alter the rate of the reaction, only the speed of the reaction. Suppose we are adding the sum the catalyst, so only the speed of the rate of the reaction. So that is called as catalyst. So but here the D block elements have the catalytic, all the D block elements having the catalytic property. What is the reason why they are why it is act as a catalytic property? Because first one is it is n-1 vacant d orbital. What is mean by vacant d orbital? So in the d orbital, so most of the orbitals are empty. So this is the d orbital. Suppose only one element, remaining all the orbitals are empty. Due to this, due to the vacancy, the electrons are easily enter inside and going outside. So that is this, because of this vacant orbital, it can easily form the bond formation. So the catalyst is ready to enter into the d orbital. After the completing the reaction, it is go away. So that is the only thing. This is the first one. Second one, it is exhibit all the transition element exhibit in a variable oxidation state. Variable oxidation state. Variable oxidation state. So this is the another property, because I already know that manganese is exhibit +2 to up to +7. So these are the higher oxidation state also exhibit. So that is the another one reason. Another one reason, it is able to easily form the complex compound. So easily form the complex compound. All the transition element forming the complex compound, that is coordinate complex compound. So this is FeCN6. So this is the again. So that is the 3D series. So this is the 4-. So this is one complex compound. This is the tendency to easily forming this complex compound. That is the another one. Next one is, what are the fourth one? The large surface area. It is the best suitable for the active site. So this most of the transition element is having the large surface area. This is the suitable for the active site, because the large surface, most of the catalysts are in the powder form. So that is this powder form. So you can easily mingle with the other reactant. So it can easily, so most of the active site means it is easily absorbed on the surface of that compound. So that is called as active site. So here these are the compound is transition elements are exhibit these property. So it is exhibit in a catalytic property. Another one is first one is why it is exhibit in a catalytic property. Reactant molecule absorb on the active site. So that is the reactant molecule is absorbed on the active site. This is the first point. So this is the catalytic property. The reactant molecule absorb on the active site. Absorb on the active site. This is the first property. Second one, the concentration of the reactant on catalyst increases the molecule. So that is the concentration of the reactant molecule on catalyst increases. Concentration of the reactant concentration of the reactant increases, the molecules of the catalyst is also increases. Catalyst molecule is also increases. Okay, so this is the property. These are these properties. This transition element are exhibit in a catalytic property. So another one. So here, first one is the catalyst. Suppose we are consider one reactant. It is go to the activation state. This is called as activation energy. So reactant is converted into product. So this is the normal condition. Okay, now we are adding some catalyst. What is the rate of the reaction? The activation energy is minimized. So that is this activation energy. This is called as activation energy. Activation energy. When adding this catalyst, the activation energy is minimized. So that is the reactant rate is also decreases. So that is the speed of the reactant is converted into product is also decreases. So that is the reason. This is this point. This is the activation. So this is the rate of the reaction. So this is the properties of this catalyst. So properties, what the catalyst is, reduce the activation energy. So minimize the activation energy. The molecule is immediately converted into the product. So this is the another one. The catalyst. So another one is example. So what are the example? First one is hydrogenation of alkene. Hydrogenation of alkene. Hydrogenation of alkene. So what is mean by hydrogenation? What is mean by alkene? So that is double bond. So here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen. What is this compound name? That is ethene or ethylene. Okay. This is the hydrogenation. Addition of hydrogen. So that is that is nickel is act as a catalyst in the presence of hydrogen. So what is the reason? The double bond. The double bond containing one pi bond, one sigma bond. This pi bond, what is the reaction? The pi bond is also absorbed on the surface of the nickel. This hydrogen is also absorbed on the surface of the nickel. So what is the reason? This is the sigma bond. This is pi bond. Here hydrogen is involved in the sigma bond. This sigma bond is also involved in this adsorb on the surface of the nickel catalyst. So what is the reason? The double bond is converted into single bond. So here that is the hydrogen. The double bond is converted into a single bond. Double bond is converted into a single bond. So here the hydrogen is also attack on this side. So here also attack on this side. So this is the hydrogenation. This is the first example. What is meant by hydrogenation? Addition of hydrogen. What is meant by addition of hydrogen? This is an organic compound. What is this compound name? Ethane. So ethylene is converted into ethane. So this is the alkene compound. Double bond is break into, that is the single bond. So this is the another one. So next one is example of Haber's process. What is the ammonia synthesis? This is the another one, Haber's process. We already know that. What is Haber's process? Haber's process, production of ammonia. Second example, Haber's process. Haber's process. What is Haber's process? So that is the production of ammonia. So that is one molecule of nitrogen and 3 molecule of hydrogen to form ammonia. 2 molecule of ammonia. Here iron is a catalyst. Okay, so this is the another one. So this is the example of another one. So here, so this is the Haber process. This is the another one example. So this is the second example. First example, hydrogenation. Hydrogen, what is meant by hydrogenation is the addition of hydrogen in the presence of nickel catalyst. Here nickel is act as a catalyst. Here the double bond containing one pi bond, one sigma bond. This pi bond is attached on the surface of the nickel. Here also hydrogen containing sigma bond. The sigma bond is also attacked on the surface of the nickel. After then the nickel is regenerated. This is called as ethane. So this is Haber's process. This is the synthesis of ammonia. So next one is industrial preparation of aldehyde. So next one is industrial preparation of aldehyde. How to prepare aldehyde? Industrial preparation of aldehyde. First, what is the catalyst? Dicobalt, octacarbonyl, octacarbonyl. So this is the catalyst, dicobalt octacarbonyl. What is mean by dicobalt? So that dicobalt, and another one is octacarbonyl. CO, octa means that is 8. This is one catalyst. Okay, so how it will act on this reaction? Propene is converted into aldehyde. So another one reaction. So how it can be reacted? So first one is propene. What is the structure of propene? So this is the propene structure. React with cobalt plus hydrogen in the presence of dicobalt octacarbonyl, that is cobalt octacarbonyl. Okay, this is the catalyst. So here that is the two end of this carbon. So here another carbon, this is another carbon. So here that is double bond, C double bond, here one C, here one C, double bond C. So one end containing aldehyde, another end containing aldehyde. So that is the first one. So here what is this compound name? 2-methyl propane. So how to naming this compound? 1, 2, 3 propane. So that is the 2-methyl, second position containing 1 methyl group, 2-methyl, 3 carbon means propane, 1 aldehyde, 1 al. Okay, so another end containing, one is terminal end containing carbon, another one is the middle carbon. So here that is CHO. So what is the compound name? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon means butane aldehyde group, 10 aldehyde. Okay, so this is the another one reaction in the presence of dicobalt octacarbonyl. So next one is preparation of acetic acid. How to prepare acetic acid from acetaldehyde? Next example, preparation of acetic acid. Fourth example, that is the CH3CHO. When acetaldehyde, when react with carbon monoxide in the presence of rhodium or iridium. So complex, rhodium or iridium complex to form the acetic acid, CH3COOH. So that is the another one. So next one is, this is another one. So next example, Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So last year board exam they asked for this question. The Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So why it is called? It is a heterogeneous catalyst. Why it is called a Ziegler-Natta catalyst? Both of them offered a Nobel prizes for this catalyst. So that is heterogeneous catalyst. So what is Ziegler-Natta catalyst? That is titanium tetrachloride. This is one. React with combined with trialkyl aluminium. So trialkyl aluminium. So this is the another one. So how to write? Here that is the propylene. What is the compound? CH double bond CH2. Here that is CH3. 3 carbon propene double bond is called as propylene. When react with titanium tetrachloride plus aluminium alkyl, that is ethyl, triethyl. So triethyl aluminium. So that is to form the polymer. So polymerization reaction takes place to make the polymer. So how it will form? So all the compound write like this: CH3, CH, double bond is removed and single bond. So here that is n time, n number of this linkage is occurred. So that is called as polymerization. That is polypropylene. What is this compound name? Polypropylene. Okay, so this is the polypropylene. So this is the another one. So next one is so these are the catalyst. What is meant by catalyst? Catalyst is the rate does not change the concentration, only alter the rate of the reaction. Only the catalyst is only the speed of the reaction. Okay, so this is the main thing. So next one is what are the uses of this catalyst? These are the example. Seeger-Natta catalyst is very important question. So what is Seeger-Natta catalyst? Titanium tetrachloride, trialkyl aluminium. So this is the these are the Ziegler catalysts. So titanium tetrachloride, aluminium triethyl. So that is triethyl aluminium. Okay, so this is the name. Propylene is converted into polypropylene. So this is the N type. The double bond is broken. It is converted into single bond to form the another one. So this is the N type. Okay, so that's all about this catalyst. Next we are going to see the alloy formation. What is mean by alloy? So next topic is what is mean by alloy. What is mean by alloy? What is mean by alloy? Alloy formation. Next topic is alloy formation. Okay, what is mean by alloy? So here that is first one is alloy is formed by the bending of metal with one or more other element. One or more other elements. So combined with the one or more other element, that is called as alloys. So here all the D block elements exhibit forming the alloys. So metals or non-metals. The elements may be metal or non-metal both are forming the alloys. So next one is the bulk metal is named as a solvent. So in this alloy major quantity is called as solvent. Major quantity, minor quantity is called as solute. So major quantity. So in this alloy, major quantity is called as solvent, minor quantity is called as solute. Okay, so this is the another one. So what is meant by Hume? According to Hume-Rother rule to form a substitute alloy. So that is the according to the Hume-Rother rule. Hume-Rother rule. What is he explain? What is mean by alloys? The alloys contain solute is less than 15%. Substitute alloys, the solute contain less than 15%. So that is the rules for the alloys. So another one is both the solvent and solute must have the same crystal structure. Suppose anyone combined with that alloy, two metals are combined with that alloy, both the metals are having the same crystal structure, same structure of this. So suppose if iron and nickel, so both are having the ionic crystal. So suppose iron is also ionic crystal and nickel is also ionic crystal, they combine easily. So that is the same crystal. So this is the first condition. First one is same crystal structure and their electronegativity may different. So both of this electronegativity must be zero. Electronegativity must be zero. So this is the negativity must be zero. First one is the solute 15%, less than 15%. That is the rule. Second one is the both the alloys containing metals or non-metals containing same crystal structure. And another one is the difference between this crystal electronegativity must be zero. Another one is these transition elements. In this transition element satisfying these conditions. So that is, since their atomic size are similar and one metal atom can be easily replaced by the another metal. So here 3D series, these are the satisfying the conditions. So that is the reason they are used as a forming alloys, because of their atomic size, similar atomic size and the similar metal atom easily replaced by one another. So that is the two conditions they are forming the crystal alloy. Another one is the alloys so formed are hot and often contain high melting point. So because another one is after mixing of that alloy they are forming the hot and high melting point. Melting point and hard hard one. So these are next example, ferrous alloy. Example is ferrous alloy, copper gold alloy, chrome alloy. So here ferrous alloy, that is the iron containing alloys, and another one is copper gold alloy, that is making used for the ornaments. So that is the copper gold alloy. Next one is chrome alloy. So that is chrome, that is nichrome wire. So that is made up of nichrome wire, that is the chrome alloy. So this is the another one. So next one is formation of interstitial compound. What is the meaning for formation of interstitial? Next topic is interstitial compound. Interstitial compound. What is the formation of interstitial compound? First one is formation of interstitial compound. Formation of interstitial compound. Okay, how to form the interstitial compound? What is meant by interstitial compound? That is when small atom like hydrogen, carbon and carbon nitrogen. So that is what is meant by interstitial, that is interior. Suppose any crystal is formed, means in the inside of this crystal, this small ions are occupied that position, that is called as interstitial ion. So that is the transition metals form a number of interstitial compound, that is titanium carbide, zirconium hydrogen and manganese tetranitride. Okay, what is the meaning for that? The metal lattice provide the new properties. This here, in this titanium metal, carbon is the interstitial position. Suppose the titanium is arranging in a crystal lattice, means in the interstitial position, the carbon is occupied. So here, that is the another one, that is the interstitial site. Another one is zirconium and hydrogen. Next one is manganese. So manganese also, the nitrogen is occupied in the interstitial position, that is the deep inner side of this crystal, that is called as interstitial position. And another one is, suppose after combining occupied the interstitial, so that is interstitial position. So in interstitial position. Okay, interstitial position. So that is the inside, deep inside of this crystal, interstitial position. The first one is after forming occupied the interstitial position, they making the new character. So what first one is new property? First one is they are hard and show electrical and thermal conductivity. They are, after forming the new property, they are hard and thermal conductivity. This is the first one. Second one, they have high melting point. So after the forming the occupied the interstitial position, they have the high melting point when compared to the pure metal. When high melting point when compared to the pure metal. Okay, so this is the another one. So these are the two properties of this interstitial position. And another one is another property is, what are the another property? Transition metal hydrides is a powerful reducing agent. So this is the metal hydride. So hydrogen containing metal, that is metal hydrides. This is the powerful reducing agent. Metal hydrides are powerful reducing agent. Powerful reducing agent. Another one is metallic carbides are chemically inert. So what is meant by this is the metallic carbide. So metallic carbides are chemically inert. So what is the meaning for that? Chemically inert, does not react to any compound. So that is called as chemically inert. So these are all the formation of, this is the condition after combining with the after occupying the interstitial compound. So they are having the new properties. They are hard, and after forming they are hard and thermal conductivity. They have high melting point when compared to the pure metal. They are powerful. They are used as a powerful reducing agent, and they are chemically inert. Okay, so this is the another one. So next one is, what is the formation of complex? So here, that is all the metals, transition metals are formation of complex compound. Formation of complex compound. Complex compound. Okay, so this is the complex formation of complex compound. How, what is the, because of the donated para, this is of the n-1d vacant orbital. Why it is act as a forming a coordination compound with the ability to donate a pair of electron of the coordinate covalent bond. So because n-1d vacant orbital, this is the first reason. So because of this vacant d orbital, a pair of electron donated a pair of electron to making the bond formation. So that is called the, so another one is due to this property, transition metal forming a complex compound. So example, FeCnC, this is already written. So that is 4 minus. So cobalt, NH3, 6. So here this is the metal. Here this metal, so donated the pair of electron. So these are the cyanide compound, donated a pair of electron to making this bond formation with the metal. So iron and the cobalt. So this is the formation of compound. So the metal ions are small and highly charged, and they have the vacant low energy orbital. So why the transition? Another important one question, why transition metal forming a complex compound? First one is n-1 vacant orbital. Second point is the metal ions are small. Metal ions are small. Metal ions are small and highly charged. Highly charged. And another one is vacant low energy orbital. Vacant low energy orbital. Okay, these are the 3 points. Why the d block elements, or why the transition element making a making the complex compound. First one is metal ions are small and highly charged, and another one is this is the another one. These are the metal ions are small and highly charged, and another one is vacant low energy orbital. Due to this property, the transition element is best formation of complex compound. This is the example of, we can write like this, K4 FeCN6. Okay, so this 4 minus coming this side, this is the cation is coming to that segment, that is 4 minus. Okay, so this is the coordination compound. These are all detailing we studied the next lesson. Okay, this is the example. These are about the formation of complex. Okay, so this is the another one. So next one is, what is mean by oxides and oxoanions? What is mean by oxides and oxoanions? During this high temperature conditions, these transition metal combine with the oxygen. Okay, so this due to this high temperature, oxides and oxoanions. Oxoanion, during the high temperature react with oxygen to form oxides. Okay, so this is the another one, to form oxides. Example, iron, cobalt, nickel and chromium. But in during the high temperature only it will react with oxygen. But this iron, cobalt, nickel and chromium, in the moist air condition it will react with moist air. It will react with the compound in the form of MO. So that is metal oxide. So what are the elements present in that compound? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. Okay, these are all the 3D series. So what are the MO? So the metal oxide. So that is how to form SCO, titanium oxide, vanadium oxide, chromium oxide, manganese oxide, iron oxide, cobalt oxide, nickel oxide, copper oxide and zinc oxide. But in this one, the scandium oxide is not formed. But this is the not formed because that is the valency. That is the only 0 vacant d orbital. So that is this only scandium oxide, dioxide. This compound only formed. So these are the another one is ionic in nature. So that is low oxidation states are ionic character, and the another one is high oxidation state are acidic character. So that is first one is we are explain the what is ionic character. So ionic character low oxidation state, that is this compound exhibit +1 oxidation to +7 oxidation state. So here that is Cu2O is a +1 oxidation state, Mn2O7. Here this is Mn oxidation state is +7. Okay, right? So that is the low oxidation state it exhibit is the ionic character. This one is exhibit higher oxidation state, it will exhibit is a covalent character. So another character is basic, basic, acidic or amphoteric. So what is mean by basic condition? Lower oxidation state. So lower oxidation state means lower oxidation state, that is basic character. Suppose higher oxidation state, that is acidic character, and another one is higher oxidation state acidic character, and the another one is so medium. So in between the middle character, that is the amphoteric. What is mean by amphoteric? Both acid character and basic character, both acid and basic character. So that is called as amphoteric. So this is the ionic in nature. So another one is oxide. So in this oxide, manganese oxide. So what are the manganese oxide? First one is MnO, Mn3O4, Mn2O3, and Mn2O7, and another one is MnO2. Okay, so here that is the +2 oxidation state, because oxygen containing -2 oxidation state, this side is coming, that is +2 oxidation state. Here also -8, this side +8, so that is 8/3 oxidation state. So here that is -2 means that is -2 plus multiply 6, that is -6. Here also +6, so that is 6/2 mean that is oxidation state is +3. Okay, so here next one is this is -14, here also +14, 14/2, so equal to 7 oxidation state. Okay, here MnO2 -2 -4, so here that is -4, here +4, this is the +4 oxidation state. So these are all the different oxidation state. So here that is this first one, this is the basic character, this is the these three are amphoteric, and this one is acidic. Okay, so these are all the different nature of this oxides and the oxoanions. Okay, next one is what is mean by oxoanion? Oxoanion, the anionic parts are acidic in nature. So this is the another one example, oxoanions. What is oxoanion? Permanganic acid, HMnO4, permanganic acid. How to write? This can be ionic form HNMnO4 minus. Okay, so anionic for oxoanion, this anionic part. So this is the here, this is cation, this is anion. These anionic part are oxoanions. These anionic parts are called oxoanions. Oxoanions. So example, chromium, the same way chromium, chromic oxide 3. When they dissolvable in water, so this is a basic character. So here also, what is this? Is the -2, that is +2, -6. So here +6, 6/2 +3, here -6. So next one is, so here chromium is +6, so here also +6. These are acidic, this is basic, this is amphoteric. Okay, so this is the another one. So these are all about the oxoanions. So that's all about this oxides and oxoanions. We see the next video. Hope you all understand. We see the next video. Okay, thank you children.